Hi there! Thank you for joining us on another Jamaica magazine. It's a new year. Getting into better shape is one of my New Year's resolutions. I know you must have some too, from going back to school, getting a new job, saving more money, buying a house, whatever it is. I hope you hold on to your dreams and don't let them die when January comes to a close. I'm going to be practicing what I preach, so watch this PSA on how to protect yourself from the Zika virus while I get ready for my workout session at Emancipation Park.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health, sponsored by the NHF.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Monday, January 4. Jamaicans are being urged to become more actively involved in helping the country achieve its development goals in 2016. The urging came from the leaders in their 2016 New Year's Day messages. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen stressed that it wasn't good enough to stand aside and lament in despair at the worsening conditions or to criticize individuals who were trying to help.
It is so bankrupt to criticize when we can make a difference and be involved in the neighborhoods and communities of this nation. We can utilize our skills and professional expertise to mentor and help individuals who need healing.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and Opposition Leader Andrew Holness also stressed the need for public participation.
Let this be a year when all Jamaicans unite and work together to achieve our goals of peace, security, and an improved standard of living for all our people.
Whatever our private dreams, for them to become realities, we must actualize them with resolute and instrumental action. This year must be our year of change and prosperity. However, there cannot be change and prosperity without your participation.
In the meantime, the Prime Minister has announced that increased job creation will be a major focus for her government in 2016.
Our concerted push for more jobs this year will involve a major expansion in micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, as well as encouraging more large investments.
Mrs. Simpson-Miller says attention will also be paid to the continued improvement in the social sector and advancing the ownership society. Jamaica and the rest of CARICOM have called on the World Trade Organization, WTO, to deliver essential changes within the multilateral trading systems. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson, who chairs the CARICOM group, spoke on behalf of the region at the 10th WTO Ministerial Conference held recently in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. He insisted that differential treatment for developing countries must remain a fundamental pillar of the WTO. He also urged the conference to draw on all progress already achieved to put the Doha Development Agenda, the DDA, back on track. The DDA, which was launched in 2001, stalled as a result of diverging views among WTO members on the further liberalization of trade in key areas. Minister Nicholson called for bold steps to produce promised development outcomes for CARICOM and small and vulnerable economies. Justice Dennis Morrison has been appointed as President of the Court of Appeal. Justice Morrison had been acting in the office since late August when Justice Seymour Panton went off on pre-retirement leave. The new Court of Appeal President received his instrument of office from Governor General Sir Patrick Allen this morning in a ceremony at King's House.
As the 11th person to be appointed President of the Court of Appeal since independence, I am happy and happily able to build on the tradition of excellence that the Court has justly enjoyed for all of that period. And as regards the matter of change, there remain yet countless opportunities for maximizing the potential of the new technologies to transform justice delivery in the Court of Appeal.
And finally, Labour and Social Security Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson has pledged the ministry's continued support of the staff and residents of the Vineyard Town Golden Age Home in Kingston. He was speaking on December 31 ahead of a tour of the facility. Dr. Ferguson said he would be meeting with the home's board of directors to determine areas for improvement.
For me and my team, you must remain a special priority. And we are going to be looking at the gaps within your program, because I believe only the best is good enough for our citizens at this time.
The minister visited several clusters at the facility, greeting the residents and familiarizing himself with the home. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Yes, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller had a stellar 2015. Catch highlights of the major happenings in her office next.
The government is committed to creating the enabling environment to support your success, because your success is Jamaica's success. We must double our resolve to strengthen the partnership approach and to act decisively on what we agree to do.
If you love Jamaica, let me see your hand. Raise it to the sky and let me see your hand. If you love Jamaica, let me see your hand.
This day has come because my administration is on a mission to improve the lives of all the people of our country, no matter their class, color, or political affiliation. In Jamaica, we are working diligently to eliminate poverty through economic growth, job creation, the expansion of business ownership, the generation of wealth, and social programs to benefit the most vulnerable.
Isn't it strange how princesses and kings in clown-leaded capers in sawdust ring?
My administration remains committed to education and training. Our commitment can be seen in the significant investments we continue to make in the education sector.
And the book of rules, each must make your lives flowing. Tumbling black on
I have given instructions to the new Minister of Health, the Honorable Horace Daly, that every effort must be made as quickly as possible to correct the shortcomings in the health sector.
This one is for the children.
And I want to send a message loud and clear to all Jamaicans. Don't cover up child abuse, whether it is happening in your family, or your neighbors, or in your community. My government pledges to uphold the rights of our children and to punish severely those who harm or abuse them. Work is also underway for legislation to be passed to create a new offense of parental neglect.
There'll be a better tomorrow. There'll be a better tomorrow. There'll be a better tomorrow.
These payments are being disbursed because my administration has consistently met the economic targets agreed with the EU. His Excellency Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, will pay a state visit to Jamaica on 9th April 2015.
No more sorrow.
Wagwan, Jamaica.
Hungry children. No more tears. There'll be a better tomorrow. There'll be a better tomorrow.
促進していくことを確認しました。
We reassured that both countries will enhance and promote their cooperation in line with 3 pillars of Japan's CARICOM policy.
Move your feet. We're gonna sing today.
This money could help to unleash trade across the region with new roads, new bridges, new port infrastructure to help speed up freight movements.
Well, you know, let's be sure you...
We view the visit as an acknowledgement and, more importantly, an appreciation of the close ties of history and culture that unite our two peoples.
There'll be a better tomorrow. There'll be a better tomorrow. No more war.
Tangible developments are taking place in the country. The growth agenda is Jamaica's agenda. We're moving forward.
To heal the nation. Now is the time to recognize.
$1,500 athletes benefiting from a health insurance scheme. 84 athletes receiving welfare checks. Sexual harassment bill tabled. And Jamaica ranks 9th out of 180 countries in press freedom. Just some of the major achievements in the Sport and Information Division of the Office of the Prime Minister. Join us on Tuesday, January 5 for highlights, only on Jamaica Magazine.
Right hand, stretch it out. Left hand again, stretch it out. Exercising is key. It doesn't matter what age you are, a proper diet and a good amount of physical activity is key to a healthy life.
It keeps you young, make you look good in your clothes, make you attractive to opposite sex.
It's only a matter of fitness and health. Keep me vigorous and keep my youth.
It's the healthy way. I want to say slim.
It is true that many of us know that exercise is good for us, but we avoid it. Why? Because we are afraid that exercise has to be vigorous before it can be effective. But physical trainers say this is not true. Every little bit counts. It all adds up to burning more calories. We may not be ready for a structured program like going to the gym, but we can start small.
The first thing that exercise helps us to do is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And the first thing that we want when we exercise is to live long. And so the longevity of life is in fact guaranteed for persons who live a healthy lifestyle by form of exercise.
Medical experts say if we are not engaging in enough physical activities, we are at major risk for developing coronary artery disease. It can also contribute to other risk factors like obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes. However, physical trainers say before we start a vigorous exercise program, there are a few things we must do.
You need to consult your physician first, get an okay from them, and then you proceed with your exercise. And we would advise you not to start vigorously. Start exercising at slow paces, gradually getting into the vigorous aspect of your exercise.
According to physical trainers, we must do any moderate to vigorous aerobic activity for a minimum of 30 minutes at least 3 to 4 times per week. This is to reduce or eliminate some of the risks associated with a lack of physical activity as part of our regular routine.
Here we go.
Moderate physical activity may include brisk walking, gardening, raking leaves, sweeping the floor, pacing while you talk. When you're on the phone, pace around. This is a great way to stay moving while doing something you enjoy. Getting up each hour to stretch or walk the stairs at work, and dancing can also make a difference.
You don't have to go to a gym to exercise. And exercise is usually a routine that you consistently do, whether it's at home or at school, that you benefit from. The heart and the lungs and the other aspects of your body benefit from.
9, 10, hold them up now.
Stretching and aerobics are some of the exercises that we can do at home to help us keep fit and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Aerobic exercises strengthen your heart and burn calories.
Here we go.
According to physical trainers, stretching exercises are essential for keeping our muscles flexible and our joints strong. You can stretch the body every day.
Look in front, hold it there, 5, relax the hand, 4, 3, 2 more, 2, 1.
We can all do exercise. I would probably only limit to the persons who are paralyzed from probably waist down. But even the persons who are paralyzed from waist down, their arms are able to do something. So you can do something with the hands.
Physical trainers say if you experience any of the following symptoms during exercise, you must stop and rest. Dizziness or lightheadedness, abnormal heart rhythm, pain in the chest, under the breastbone, and or down the arm, pain in the knees, feet, or ankles. After, stop and rest. If the symptoms persist, you must call your doctor.
I feel stronger, flexible.
I feel so refreshed and like I can take on the day.
And I think it has helped to make me look youthful. So exercise is great.
It firms up your muscles and it gives you more energy.
We can all improve our health and well-being and have fun by including moderate amounts of physical activity in our daily lives. Remember, if fitness is the goal, exercise is the way to get there. Be health-wise.
If going back to school is a New Year's resolution of yours, watch this next feature.
Government, through its various ministries and agencies, awards a number of scholarships to students each year. You too could qualify and benefit from a scholarship or grant. but you must seek in order to find. At the primary level and moving on to high school, students who do GSAT each year and earn high scores can get scholarships from the Ministry of Education.
The scholarships are awarded to students from both public and private institutions. The government in itself, the Ministry of Education, offers a total of 32 scholarships, government scholarships, yearly to students who sit GSAT examination.
Of the 32, 4 are named after prominent Jamaicans, former government minister J.A.G. Smith, and 3 of the national heroes, Marcus Garvey, Paul Bogle, and George William Gordon. To qualify for these, students must meet some personalized criteria, generally related to the person in whose honor the scholarship is named.
For example, the Paul Bogle Scholarship, it is offered to a boy or a girl who must be attending Morant Bay High School. So if a child is selected to attend Morant Bay High School, then that child qualifies to be among those who will be selected. But the bottom line is that it would be based on performance.
So what of the next 28?
Basically, the 28 scholarships are awarded based on performance, purely. And it is awarded to all school types. So private, which we refer to the prep schools, all-age schools, primary and junior high primary school students.
In addition to these, the Education Ministry also offers sponsored scholarships, extended through private sector institutions such as banks to top-performing students. High schoolers, you might have just completed 5th or 6th form and are ready to experience the college life. In case you didn't know, the Student Loan Bureau actually offers grants. Yes, under its specially designed Grant in Aid GIA program, students receive a specified non-repayable sum to assist with the funding of school-related expenses. It's not a full scholarship, but it can certainly help to make a difference. Check out the Bureau's website to see if you qualify or call them at 754-2559. Then there is JAMVAT. The Jamaica Values and Attitudes program is another viable option from the Ministry of Education. Students volunteer for 200 hours and in turn earn a payoff of 30% of their tuition fees as well as an additional stipend. A great reason to volunteer indeed. For those of you already in university, the Ministry of Education's tertiary level unit is a great place to start your search. You can stop by their offices, make a call, or simply log on to their website, click on scholarships, and a long list of opportunities opens. The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also have a number of scholarship programs in place, especially if you're looking for opportunities to study abroad. Think Cuba, Russia, Japan, and so many other foreign countries. These scholarships offer not just educational advancement, but to a greater extent, a cultural exchange and broadening of your global network. If you need help in your search for scholarships, another government agency, the National Center for Youth Development, which falls under the Ministry of Youth and Culture, also displays scholarship options for students on its website. For further tips, call and/or check out the websites of the Ministries of Education, Finance, and Foreign Affairs.
From making plans to build on the foundations laid in 2015 to bidding her final farewell to Bishop D'Souza, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller was kept busy this past week. Take a look.
In Jamaica House Weekly.
There are encouraging indications that 2016 will be a year of continued positive transformation for Jamaica and our people.
As the island ushered in a new year on Friday, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller pledged her government's continued commitment to creating the conditions necessary for economic growth and job creation. On the economic front, Mrs. Simpson Miller said local and international investor confidence was high, adding that government's policies were equally supported by local and international groups.
We can all be proud that our country is on track to be successful in our 11th consecutive quarterly review by the IMF.
Speaking to job creation, Mrs. Simpson Miller said the push for more jobs would include a major expansion in micro, small and medium-sized enterprises as well as large investments.
Thousands of new jobs will come on stream this year in the business, process outsourcing and call center sector, tourism, manufacturing and agriculture. Jamaicans and our visitors will experience further ease of traveling and moving goods and services upon the completion of the North-South Highway this year.
With a 30% reduction in energy costs, the Prime Minister urged Jamaicans to continue their conservation measures.
I urge you to embark on energy conservation projects in your homes. Make good use of the energy conservation plans being offered by the utility companies to help us to conserve. There must be no retreat on the gains we have made.
Mrs. Simpson Miller also touched on home and land ownership, education, health, training and job creation for the youth, social protection and crime reduction.
Fighting crime is not just a government business. It is our business. We, government and citizens, must all work together to ensure that Jamaica becomes more and more a safe place to live, raise our families, and do business.
The Prime Minister also used their New Year's Day message to thank public sector workers for their sacrifice, the National Partnership Council for their help, and wished the island's athletes all the best for the Olympics in Rio.
Let 2016 be a year we can look back on with pride and satisfaction. If that is to be so, we have to start today.
Last Tuesday, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller participated in the official funeral for the Right Reverend Dr. Neville de Souza, the 12th Bishop of the Diocese of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. The Prime Minister read a lesson from the Bible during the service which took place at the St. Andrew Parish Church in Halfway Tree. Bishop de Souza died on December 12 after a long illness. And Mrs. Simpson Miller closed out her week by supporting the 5th staging of Shaggy and Friends, a charity concert held in aid of the Bustamante Hospital for Children. The concert was held on the lawns of Jamaica House Saturday night. Concert organizers Shaggy Make-A-Wish Foundation will donate all proceeds to repair or purchase more than 450 pieces of essential equipment to the Bustamante Hospital. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Do join us next time for the latest stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
And that's it for our show today. We valued your feedback in 2015 and we certainly will continue to value it in 2016. So keep sending your comments to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. If you'd like to watch this episode or any other episode that you may have missed, visit us on YouTube at Watch JIS. We're also on social media, that is Facebook and Twitter. And we also have an app in the Google Play Store. So I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.